Good morning, my dear students. How are you? Yes. Today we are going to finish our lesson. You have read the lesson and you wrote all question answers, new words, and send me very good. Keep it up. Today we are going to the last part of this story. So, a young man is there who is tried to commit, that we can say, who tried to commit suicide. But luckily, with the timely intervention of A.J. Cronin, that young doctor saved his life. With the help of a sergeant of police, the landlady called this young doctor, means our A.J. Cronin, and gave what that timely doctor's help to that young man, and now he is sitting. When he reached there, A.J. Cronin reached there, he was lifeless. He was lying on the bed, lifeless. But A.J. Cronin's presence changed that man's life. Means he gave him a rebirth. A.J. Cronin gave him rebirth to him. Okay. As he regained his strength, he told us his story. So, here that young man tried to commit suicide. When will he, or when people take such a decision to commit suicide? When do people take such a decision to commit suicide? Without any reason, nobody will commit suicide. He will have, or she will have, or maybe they will have their own reasons. Sometimes it may be a silly reason. That is also there. Youngsters in our country, many youngsters, college and school children, they commit suicide only because of a moment's disappointment or a moment's angry. So at that time, sometimes timely help of whom mother or father or friends will save those lives. And here, who saved that young lady, and our surgeon, with the help of whom, yes, A.J. Cronin, saved that young man's life. After that, even that person who tried to commit that suicide will admit that it was a wrong decision to commit suicide. That is also there. So many examples. If you read a newspaper, you can get it from the newspaper. Okay, so here let us find out what was the reason for that young man to take such a decision to commit suicide. His parents were dead. This young man's parents were dead. An uncle had found him a position as clerk in a London solicitor's office. So his parents were dead. So then he was under the control of his uncle, and his uncle found him in a position where as a clerk in a London solicitor's office. Solicitor means a lawyer's office. He had been in the city only 6 months. Then he had been only for 6 months in that London. London means it is now also it is very, very, very big city. Everything you can get it from that London city. Each and every types of people will be there. Good people, bad people, good people, all are the gentlemen. All are there. So yes, for a villager, he will not be able to understand the people and the doings in that London city. So he was new to London. He couldn't understand the happenings or the people and all in that life will be entirely changed from where a village to London city. Okay, means London means city means what is needed, money is needed. Whatever you want you will get, but what is the only one condition, one and only condition, you must have money. If you have enough bank balance, you can live happily in any of the towns or cities in the world. So utterly friendless, he had fallen victim to the loose society of the streets. Then utterly friendless, that London was new to him, and he joined there as a clerk in a solicitor's office. That solicitor was his boss, and he couldn't get a company from him. So after his work, he came out from his office, and at that time, what is needed? A friend is needed to share his thoughts and his dreams and his all. But no one was there. Then this man made company with whom? The loose society of the street. Loose society means here bad people. Means those who are using drugs or smoking, and those who left their house, those who have no connection with their parents, those who do any bad thing without any control from their parents. Such people will be there. They are called loose society. So he made a company with this loose society. He had made bad companions, and like a young fool, eager to taste pleasure far beyond his means, had begun to bet on horses. Then what happened now? He had no friend, utterly friendless. He made friends with whom? Yes, this low society. And he had made bad companions, and like a young fool, he behaved like a young fool, and he was eager to taste the pleasure, eager to take the happiness, eagerly wanted to enjoy that pleasure of life far beyond his means. And it was far beyond his means. Means what? Whatever he gets, he earns a particular amount as a salary, and beyond that salary he should not spend. If you have a salary, you must adjust your life according to that salary. Otherwise, what will happen? You will not be able to adjust to that that salary for your life, and you will be compelled to borrow money from others, and then if you borrow money, you have to give it back, and for that also you will have a big problem. Okay, so he had begun to bet on horses, so he wanted money. So what? By using his salary, he started to bet on horses, betting on horses. Horse race will be there. So in that what, if we bet on a particular horse, we will get money. So he by joining with these bad people, he started betting on horses. Soon he had lost all his small savings. What happened? Soon he lost all his small savings. As a clerk, he was getting only he was drawing only a small amount as a salary, but when he started to bet on horses, he lost his all even savings, and he had pledged his belongings. He had pledged. Pledge means what? Signing on a what contract, and taking money on what gold or something like that. So he pledged his belongings, whatever he had. He pledged his all belongings, his own possessions, whatever it may be. He pledged all his belongings and owed the bookmaker a disastrous amount. He wanted to give, he had to give a big amount to the bookmaker. Booking, he wanted to bet. So one person will be there to control this all. He wanted to give a huge amount to that person. In an effort to recoup Then what? He took his all salary, his savings. Then again, he bet on horses by taking money from others by what? By pledging his belongings. And at last, he lost everything. If we borrow money on basis of any valuable thing, those people will come back and they will ask money. So the same thing happened. He couldn't give it back. Then what? So what? He wanted to escape from this all. For that, what did he do? In an effort to recoup means what? To get back an amount of money that you have spent or lost. He had to what? Get back an amount of money that he had spent. For that purpose, he had taken a sum of money from the office safe for a final gamble, for a final play. He took a decision to what? Decision to take money from his office safe. He was certain to win, and his friend said, "You will definitely win. So bring that amount." He was unable to bring that amount. He searched in his home, but nothing was there. In his account, nothing was there. So at last, what did he do now? He did what? He took the amount from his own office. That solicitor gave him money for his official purpose. The same money amount he took. But this last resort had failed. But this last resort, that last thinking, he thought it would save him from his all loans and debts. But what happened? The final resort or a final belief on this also failed. Terrified of the prosecution that must follow, sick at heart, sunk in despair, he had shut himself in his room and turned on the gas. That was terrified of the prosecution activity. The prosecution means the process of conducting legal proceedings against someone accused of a crime. So if you do a crime, proceedings will be there. Court, police will register a case, and they will come and take or collect evidences, and they will, if it is possible, they will arrest you and they will not send you to jail. They will take that case to the court, and that proceeding is called the prosecution. So prosecution must follow, and the solicitor is his office is itself as a solicitor's office. So he is a lawyer. He will charge a case against him. Okay, he will make a comment against him. So the next moment, what will happen? He thought police would come. The solicitor would give a complaint, register a complaint, and the police would come and arrest him, and then he will be punished. So it was a big problem for whom this young man to think. So sick at heart. Sick at heart means very disappointedly, sunk in despair. Despair means disappointedly. Sick at heart means what? Very painfully, he had shut himself in his room. He went back to his room and he shut his door and turned on that gas. So, if the leakage of gas is there, means what? He will not be able to take breath and he will die. So for that purpose, to die, for committing suicide, he did it. A long bar of silence throbbed in the little attic when he concluded his halting confession. Then he said, "That's what happened. I made friends with bad people. This is my fault. But whatever it may be, I thought I would earn money, and he spent his all salary, then that small saving. Then also he borrowed money from all people by pledging his his belongings, and at last he was in such a condition that he was unable to pay back all money. So as a last attempt, once again he took money not from his bank account or his own pocket. He stole, we can say, he stole money from his office. If he spends his own money, it is not a problem. But if he takes money from office or other people without their consent, their permission, it is a punishable thing. It is a crime. So he understood he would be punished. These all proceedings will be there. So that he took a decision to, commit suicide. So from that, and he said he did a mistake. So what? So after hearing this story, this landlady, surgeon, and whom, A.J. Cronin, they three understood he was a young fool who has a good mind, but because of that bad company, he was changed, or he was compelled to do this all. So a long bar of silence throbbed in the little attic when he concluded his halting confession. When he said he confessed his all activities, there was a long silence. Then gruffly means deep, rough and unfriendly, the surgeon asked. Then the police surgeon, he, without any friendliness, unfriendly, with a rough voice, he asked how much he had stolen. How much you have taken? Tell me, how much you have taken from that office? 7 pounds 10 shillings. The answer sounded pitiful. How much he had taken? No, only 7 pounds and 10 shillings. Actually, that is what the amount in England. 7 pound and 10 shilling means a very small amount. For that amount, he took a decision to commit suicide. Just you think about that. For this paltry sum, he had almost thrown away his life. When they heard what is the amount he had taken from that office? Yes, 7 pound and 10 shilling. That is what a paltry. Paltry means what? Too small to be considered as important or useful. It was very too small, very small amount. Only for that small amount he took a decision to commit suicide. Just you think about that. So they understood he was kind-hearted, but he was a fool. There was a pause. Then again there was a pause. The three of us who are there, the surgeon, the landlady, and me, as the sole witness of the near tragedy, and they are the sole witness, only 3 witnesses are there, had same unspoken thought in our mind. These 3 members had only same thought in their mind. We decided to give the young man a fresh start. So, can you say, is there any possibility to give a fresh start to that young man by these 3 members? Or what should be done by these 3 members at that moment? What is your opinion? Yes, somebody may say he should be punished. The surgeon should take him to the police station. And somebody will say he took, or he stole only 7 pounds. If these 2 members, if they are ready to give that amount to whom this young man, without knowing anyone, he can go and keep that 7 pound and 10 shilling in that office shelf, and nobody will come to know anything. Then this committing suicide. Then as that also, surgeon should not go and report it to the police station. Then what? In such a way, these 3 members can give this young man a fresh start. So they took. That is what your opinion now? The same opinion was there from these 3 members. Landlady, then surgeon, then A.J. Cronin. The surgeon, at considerable risk to his job, resolved to make no report upon the case, so that no court proceedings would result. So these 3 members, they have to do their own help to that young man. So surgeon, even though he is very rough, unfriendly to that young man, after knowing this tragedy, he said that, or he decided about, he promised that at a considerable risk, it is the duty of a police officer to inform any crime happened anywhere in front of his eyes, or if he comes to know about such a crime, he should inform, no doubt. Even the citizens in a country also, they are responsible to inform the same thing in the police office. If they see or hear about any crime, common people also have the responsibility to inform this to the police station. At the same time, police officer, it is his duty. This is a part of his duty. Not only a responsibility, this is duty. So here, at a considerable risk means that is what? He has to take a decision not to report it in the police station. If he reports, what will happen? That court proceeding will be there. Then they will come to know he stole money from where office and all. So there will be a court proceeding. So that surgeon took a decision not to report this. Then the landlady offered a month's free board until he should get upon his feet again. Landlady's next to the landlady's turn. She said that she would give free lodging to that young man till he regains his all financial problems. It should then when I making perhaps the least contribution, and what then Ejaconizar. What was his responsibility? No, then he himself said what it was his. He had to take only, or he had to give only a least contribution to that. I came forward with £7 10 shillings for him to put back in the office safe. So what landlady gave? Landlady gave him an offer to live there in that lodging without any rent, and police officer said he would not go and report it in the police station. Then Ejekoni, actually but he is the person who saved that young man's life, because only as there was only a chance, which was what a small, there was no chance. 95% he was dead, but from that 5% he recalled that person from his death. So already he has done, but this time Yakunin said that he would give that £7 and 7 shilling to that person to keep it back in that shelf. The ship moved on. So this is what the story. In this way, Ejekoni changed the life of that person. He gave that professional help to recall that young man from his death, and also he gave £7 and 10 shilling to that person to give it back in the, or keep it back in the office shelf. That was the good thing he had done for whom? That young man. That changed that young man. After that, this person did not go back to that bad people, bad friends in that low society, or with low society. He kept a distance, and he changed his life, and he once again he went back that solicitor's office. Now he is a famous lawyer. Okay, then so the ship moved on through the chill darkness of the night. There was no need of speech. Now who are there? Now Ejekoni, Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones, 3 members are there. There was no need of a speech. With a tender gesture, Mrs. Jones had taken her husband's hand. Then what? With a tender gesture, with an affectionately, with love, we can say, with love, that Mrs. Jones took the hand of whom? That husband, her husband. And as we sat in silence, I could not but reflect that it was the best investment I had made in my life. At that moment, what is our topic? I told you that I will tell you the importance of topic. So what yes, AJ Cronin understood what I could not but reflect that it was the best investment I had made in my life. What is the best investment? We invest money in the bank for constructing house and buying new plots, buying car and all. And you may think that is what my best investment. But here he said that 7 shilling and 7 pounds and 10 shilling was the best investment that I ever made in my life for that young man, because that changed that man's life. It had paid me no dividends in worldly goods. It did not paid me it had paid me no dividends, nothing given as an interest, as a worldly goods, any form of any goods, but had turned out to be immensely profitable. But if you invest money in the bank, you will get interest. If you invest 1 lakh, you will get what interest to that. Then by using that invest, you can buy some new things. But here this investment did not give him any goods, but it became a profitable thing in his life. It stood out against all the bad investments I had made throughout the years. That is what it stood out against all bad investments that I had made throughout the years, those foolish speculations for material gain, producing only anxiety, disappointment, and frustration. As you know, he, as a doctor, as a physician, he made money. So when we have money, when we invest money, we will have what that will give only what anxiety. We will think, oh, will I for which I can spend this money? If I buy that thing, will it give me comfort? Or that anxiety will be there. And there's a disappointment if we buy anything by earning money, and that may disappoint you. And also frustration, always frustration will be there. We will all think only about what money, not about even love also. We quarrel with people only for what, on the basis of money and property. But here his investment was a great one. This was the best investment, because that small amount changed a man's life, and now he is working for the children and young people who are in such a bad condition. Okay, so AJ Cronin said, this is what my best investment. So now you understood the importance of this headline. Okay, so this is what the lesson. You have to read it very carefully and answer me, and we will go to the activities after you send all these side question answers. Okay, thank you.